if there is no social media, to see its impact, to pinpoint some of my concerns that the social media should have resolved or at least adopted to the cultural or the important values of Pashtun youth. What is social media? Everyone knows it's basically that network which is creating, which is integrating, which is sharing content among the virtual communities. And it has transformed the identities of youth, particularly Pashtun youth. It is talking about those areas which involve speech patterns, which gives identity and freedom of speech to the youth to express their opinion, which was never before. Now, what are the basic unseen rules for the Pashtun youth? Well, I just want to pick three. The most important for the youth, there are many, which is having the Pashtun code in the background. The first one is respect, privacy, and above all, a very appropriate language, the use of language, right? Now, this social media is creating a great impact on the Pashtun youth. Like, before social media, the Pashtun youth used to listen to their elders to participate in the traditional gatherings. They were very focused. They were part of those experienced people around to learn on different occasions. Now, and after social media, they have thousands of people in their contact, but that gathering pattern, traditional gathering pattern, is missing. There is a gap created by the social media, rather. So they are missing the traditional gathering, and they are not exactly learning from these new contacts in true essence. They are in continuous, you can say, competition to share the personal updates all the time. And interestingly, they don't want to be original. Like if somebody is sharing something on social media, they are using filters. Why not your original self? You should be originally in front of everybody on social media, so you can assess your true potential. That is missing right now. Or our youth is not exactly focusing on these major points. We have seen that they are using extensive communication, text messaging, but on the other side, this youth is losing command of non-verbal communication. By non-verbal, I mean their facial expression, their body language. When you are practically or in a very direct relationship, your people around in the community, in the grouping, they somehow guide you to speak in this way, give this expression, stand this way, particularly your elders, your companions around. But that is missing in social media. So they are learning to speak or text, but they are losing the command of those important non-verbal communication, which should be there. They should have some direct practice and participation. Well, when I asked my student, what are you doing? Some has given me very interesting answer. Madam, I am giving my opinions on Facebook. You're not, on my friends list, madam. Please check my Twitter. Well, that's interesting. But if I am not checking, it means that you don't have other qualification to describe yourself. So this is not the only qualification. The youth think if they are every time available on the social media, that is enough for their qualification. So it is a kind of certification for your personality. It is a kind of certification. Now people quickly check your style, your thinking from the social media, right? But still, that's not the only thing. So the youth is linking themselves, their identity, their progress only to social media, which is important, but there are some additional areas to be considered. There is this new trend, particularly in youth. They will give a single word expression, Alhamdulillah. And everybody on the list would think, what happened? Some are friends and some are not. So this is for suspense. So they want to check the temperament of everyone on the list. That is good or bad needs to be considered. Is this attitude good or bad? I think they are becoming more dramatic than real. So if something you have achieved, you can share. If that's worth sharing, you can share. But you should not create suspense. And it is usually for the others. If I pinpoint a very important matter, that is the debate. The youth, they are engaged in debates, which is good. Literally, that is very good. This social media has given that platform that they should debate. But one thing which I am focusing for some time, the debates are usually for very unproductive things. And because of maybe the lack of experience or their age factor, they sometimes engage in very controversial topics, very sensitive topics, even not having a complete command. They comment, they debate, and sometimes that leads to the area of image destruction of some other people. Without realizing it, they are engaged in debates. So that is an area my youth, Pashtun youth, should consider it. These are all not the bads. I'm just trying to dig out those areas where our youth need to focus. There are some positive areas as well. Now the Pashtun youth are talking about gender equality. It is very great achievement. They are now talking about social cohesion, which was not very common. So this is encouraging. They are even talking about the rights of marginalized communities. So that's very impressive. But there are certain things which basically the Pashtun youth is not realizing they are important and should be somehow considered and cared of. Another thing which is common is social spying. Social spying is very common. There are thousands of friends on that contact list, but believe me, we have very few as friend or concern, and many are performing the job of social spying. So if that element is present, the youth have to consider the importance and use of social media. If that element is there, sometimes you are sharing about yourself, your activities, your updates, not realizing maybe somebody have bad intention. So when you are opening yourself, you should be conscious. You should be careful. These are few things which was making me to share the idea how to use social media. By this, do we mean that social media is not good? No. Social media is very good. It is connecting you. It is giving you platform. Now the youth is engaged with the international communities. It's too big a thing. Believe me, sitting in Peshawar, they are experiencing, they are learning those things which is like in another continent. So that is creating a kind of patience, integration with the international community. And I would suggest to the youth that they should use this social media for the cultural heritage protection. That is very important. And at the same time, to integrate and to positively engage in social cultural growth at world level. So that would be very, very much encouraging. And please avoid cyberbullying. That is very common. Harmful information reaching to you, try to avoid it. That is very interesting. And during this information, sometimes we are getting content and we are interested to just quickly share it with other contact lists. That is not good. Why it is not good? Why it can have harmful repercussions? Because before you are sharing a content, none of the youth is going to check its authenticity, to verify it, to judge whether it's worth sharing or not. So this is very dangerous. Why? Because if somebody like me, I want to see what kind of personality you are, I might see what kind of content you're sharing. So your image building is even defined by your sharings. So social media is providing you with abundance of things, but you should be the one to pick authentic news and you can share it. So that would become an impressive material for other, and your these all materials sharing on social media contexts are going to define you. Previously, people used to visit institutions, inquire about the students, inquire about the youth, particularly the last institution, it was a practice, that what kind of student this person was, he or she was good or bad. But now that trend is shifted towards the social media. They check your social media, what you have shared, what was your pattern over the years, and then they realize what kind of person or personality you are. So remember, it is becoming more a certificate of your character, your personality. Somebody somewhere is judging you. So the use of social media is becoming very sensitive. It is such a huge technology that we, being parents, not realizing how much to allow our youth to use it and how to keep a check on them. Because of Pashtun culture, there is always a kind of distance between the kids and the parents and family, especially the elders. That is giving more leverage to Pashtun youth to use social media very aggressively, because the elders don't want to interfere too much in the life of their youngster, to keep that respect level issue between them. And the young people, because of their less exposure, they are even not realizing that it's a very, very dangerous gadget. You should be very careful about using any of the content which is available on social media. So here what we should learn, that this habit of becoming too alert for the notification and losing focus because of these alerts. Something happened on Facebook, something happened there on the Twitter. Why we are becoming so alert for the updates? If even they're discussing something, if even they are in the class and a single alert is checked by that youth, the boy and the girl equally. So my suggestion is, or this should be a point for the young generation, please think over it. We should use social media, or we should be used by social media. This is very important. So I leave this discussion at this point and think over it. I hope we'll be in a better position to use social media. Thank you.